What's up, everyone? We're here for the Council Network with the Arrow 4 season finale review. And breakdown discussion where they could take it in the next season. And things I hope for it and whatnot. And all the goodies. All the goodies. Alright, I'm just going to address it. There was a lot of issues with this episode. If anyone tells you there wasn't, I'm sorry, but they're so goddamn wrong. Alright, let's go over the biggest one. When Felicity takes care of the nuke that's coming their way, and she basically goes, sorry about that, I have to close the window in the reptile room because neighbors are assholes. She basically says, okay, I'm going to send all the other nukes somewhere else. I'm going to put them in space and explode them. So how did like 55 of them not get taken out by, I don't know, government systems that would usually protect their country or attempt to take it down, or I don't know, they would fly up? You don't need to show it, you just need to say it. It would make a lot more sense, but I guess since they were all overtaken by the virus, that's kind of why. Again, kind of why. I'm just looking for reasoning there. It's something that just felt kind of like really piss poor to me. I'm not going to lie, I'm actually kind of happy that we got OTA, Original Team Arrow. It was good, Season 1, reminder, but we've moved past Season 1 and then into Season 2 and 3. And honestly, seeing Thea left, that made a lot of sense from the context of the episode and the season. You're now seeing the grief that she has, with Laurel. You're seeing what would Laurel say. You're seeing all that impact. You're seeing Diggle leave because his arc finished, and he's pretty much going back to the army. I can't say we're going to see him again, or we're not going to see him again. Part of me kind of hopes to see him again, but I don't want him in the streets every night, at least not till the second part of the season. And of course, the biggest, what the fuck did you do moment. Here's my problem. There was no side effect to the Flashpoint that happened in the Flash last night. Now, this could just be that the Arrow continuity isn't fully affected by what Flash did, but in the DC verse, a lot of the times when Flash goes back, everyone's affected to some degree. And for them not to show a reason or just something that has changed, it just doesn't add up to me. And I know I may just be cherry picking some things here by saying that, and maybe they'll resolve it Season 5, but to me that's piss poor writing. That really is. Because Legends of Tomorrow, they set it up with Justice Society of America. Jay Garrett was on The Flash last night, minor spoiler, and, minor spoiler, and he's part of the Justice Society of America. He's part of, like, that founding member. And he's from Earth 3. These are all elements leading to it. Hell, even Supergirl had a better season finale than even Arrow. And the fights, the way they were choreographed, my god, I'm just gonna go into it. Here's the problem. It's really cool seeing all the ghosts and all the people of Star City going to fight this giant fight. It's really cool looking. But from a standpoint, these are ghosts. These are guys that we just saw shooting at Team Arrow with guns and shit. Why are they not using the guns? Did they just forget how to use their guns, threw them on the ground, and said, we're going to punch people? And then get taken out by civilians? I mean, I get it. You're resolving with Dark, but still. And don't even get me started about how Oliver was able to take down Dark without using the tattoo that should have been made its play here. When, say Dark stabs him with the arrow, gives it back to him, and then for some reason that, Constantine's tattoo comes into play. I'm not a writer, but God knows that's a loose end that happened. Another loose end that happened? Last episode, Damien Dark super powered up. This episode, final boss Damien Dark depowered down from Super Shredder into regular Shredder. It's kind of silly to look at it that way. Where 1 minute it's like, oh, I'm a final boss. And the next it's like, oh, kind of like half-assed DLC, half-baked. Not to make a video game reference, but it needed to be made. And honestly, seeing Oliver become mayor, that's one of the good things. Because I know that there's a lot of story elements that they could pull from there. But not setting up for Season 5 baddies, it just kind of feels weird. Not saying it's bad, but it just feels really out of place and weird. And I'm just going to go back to again. Ghosts who were shooting at people all season suddenly decide they're going to drop their weapons and say, fuck it all. It's just kind of one of those things that I'm just like, wait, what the hell's going on? And the one thing I will say is it makes sense that Flash wasn't there this year in the season finale, because at that point he just finished with Zoom and, you know, he's going back. But here's another issue. And it's not, I don't blame the Flash's fault, because obviously the Arrow writers aren't working with the Flash writers. Why aren't there any nukes going toward Central City. My apologies, it's been a really long day. A really long day. And it just doesn't add up. I mean, you could argue that, oh, Oliver, you know, Felicity got it off the course beforehand. I like seeing Mr. Terrific, or who soon will be Mr. Terrific, I hope he is, actually, you know, have a bigger role. But here's my issue. Everyone wanted, like, well, on Tumblr wanted OTA. Everyone else kind of just wanted to be more about the Green Arrow. And we didn't get neither one of those. We got a fuck you with a Felicity at the end. You thought I was going to leave too? It's like, yeah, we were kind of hoping you would, because it would have made sense. Hey, I'm going to go ride with my mom. I'm going to go ride with Captain Lance because, you know, I'm going to go into the sunset with them. And just kind of have it that moment that Oliver's there alone. And when he's the mayor, he has to make all these decisions without looking at someone to fall back on. And obviously, Mr. Terrific would be the new Felicity, because he pretty much does almost everything she does. And having him there and build him up in season 5 would have been a good starting point. But again, just one man's opinion, and not everyone's opinion. Not everyone's going to say, you know, stand the same thing. I just still can't get over the goddamn ending, because Legends ended with Our Man and the Justice Society of America. Flash pretty much has its own version of Flashpoint to some degree. We got, like, visual elements, a couple episodes back in the Flash. For that, I highly recommend watching Flash. If you're watching Arrow, you should be watching Flash, because it's a much superior show. I'm not trying to put Arrow down anymore, because it's kind of just a, you know, we'll talk about the negatives, but I'm not going to just, like, put it down. One thing I do want to talk about is Amanda Waller's appearance in this episode. Very surprising. The island actually, the whole island thing, alright, the resolution was actually done pretty okay, because Oliver wasn't going to be able to take down Ryder anyway by himself. I am okay with the way they resolved that, and him, you know, having to take out her was just the end all be all. It needed to happen. But the biggest, again, what the fuck situation is that Arrow is the one that started, you know, getting the Flash and getting Legends of Tomorrow out there. And for the Arrow writers basically say, well, fuck you, we're not crossing over. That's how it felt. For them to pretty much not include the elements of the Flash or Legends of Tomorrow. And granted that there's probably not too many characters in the Arrowverse that could, you know, be used for Justice Society of America, but I could sure as hell think of one right off my bat called Black Siren, who was actually part of the Golden Age, and she was like Laurel Lance's mom in the comics. And it would have just been more fitting to kind of have her on Arrow, just put her there somehow, and just have her go over to Earth 3. That would have made a lot more sense. And she's like, I see the error in my ways. Maybe in season 5, it's not that I want Laurel Lance back. I'm not going to, like, make that whole argument. It just gets really, really repetitive on the reviews to constantly say that. I'm being honest. It really does. As much as I want to see it, it kind of gets me that way. And honestly, like, the final speech that Arrow gave, you know, Oliver Stefan Amell gave, is kind of like how, I guess, the ones who came from the original season for the action, the kind of like crime drama that was going on in the first 2 seasons. You know, to go back to that, it's kind of like his speech was reflecting on that, like, okay, season 3 and 4 weren't that great, but guess what? Season 5, we're going to go back to our roots. I hope that's true. I hope they keep Felicity's mom out of the picture. I hope they keep Thea off the streets. I'm going to explain that one in a minute. I hope they keep Diggle off the streets. And I hope it's just Oliver in the streets with Felicity and soon-to-be Mr. Terrific in the command center actually giving him, like, you know, tips and everything. It just makes more sense if it's less people, because then the choreography is a lot better. And I'm not saying that, hey, it's not cool to have Thea there. It would be, but focus on getting back to that core, and it's going to look a lot better on the shots and everything. And my one final vice for this entire episode that just drove me nuts: Malcolm Merlin, the flip-flopper. I want to protect my daughter. I will do it at any cost. I will work at Hive. I will betray Hive. I will betray you again. Why do you allow him to constantly fuck shit up? Seriously. Season 3, he got Thea killed. But no, we're going to trust him because it's the end of the world and we need him. Fair enough. And I like the actor. I'm not going to lie. Anyway, I'm hoping for a much better Season 5 that's more grounded. Maybe a big baddie that doesn't have superpowers that Oliver can actually fight and get a good fight. Because honestly, that hand-to-hand combat fight with Damien Dark was just... It looked like butter. It was not tight the way it should be. Because you look back to the Season 1 fights, those fights are tight. They're practice. And Season 4, it's none against the actors, but just whoever does the choreography in this episode, it's just lazy mode. I'm sorry. It's just lazy mode. Especially coming off 2 good seasons of Daredevil choreography. I just can't. I just cannot justify that. It's unacceptable at this point. Budget or not, it's unacceptable. It really is. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe for more, just like the fire truck said. And I will see you guys on the next one. Till then, peace.